In this video, I'm going to show some examples of word problems that involve multiplying and dividing mixed numbers. Question 1 says a woman drives 41 1/4 miles to work each day. She stops for coffee at a shop that is 1/2 of the way to her job. How far does the woman drive before she stops for coffee? When I'm thinking about this, I kind of write out a little number sentence out to the side, but I'm going to write my number sentence partially in numbers and partially in words. I know that half of the distance to the work is her stop for coffee. So now I just need to fill in the numbers that I know. Half of the distance to work is 41 1/4 equals the blank that I'm trying to find out. To find half of 41 1/4, I'm going to multiply. So this is going to be 1/2 times 41 1/4. Or I could have done 41 1/4 divided by 2. That's equivalent. To do my multiplication here, I'm going to change 41 1/4 to an improper fraction. 41 groups of 4 is 164, plus one more is 165 fourths. So now I'm ready to do my multiplication. 1 times 165 is 165. 2 times 4 is 8. And we can change this back to a mixed number by dividing. 165 divided by 8 will be 20 5/8. So half of her distance to work is 20 5/8 miles. Question 2 says, to finish building cabinets, a carpenter needs to cut pieces of wood 41 5/8 inches long. The carpenter will cut the pieces from a board that is 83 1/4 inches long. How many pieces will the carpenter be able to cut for the cabinets? So in this problem, I have my total length. And when I'm cutting pieces, I'm dividing it by the length of each piece. And that gives me the number of pieces that I can make. So if I take my total, the whole length of the board, I divide that into sections that are each a certain length long, that gives me how many pieces I can make. To fill in my numbers, my total board length is 83 1/4 inches. The length of each piece is 41 5/8 inches, and I'm trying to figure out the number of pieces that I can make. Now, before I even do this problem, this is an example of a problem that you should just be able to look at the answer choices and know the answer right away, because there is only one answer choice that even makes sense. If I take something that's about 80 and I divide it by something that's about 40, my answer should be about 2. All of the other answer choices don't make any sense. I am going to go ahead and work this entire problem out just as a review of division with mixed numbers. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change both of my mixed numbers to improper fractions. So 83 1/4, I'm going to do 83 groups of 4, which is 320 plus 12, which is 332, plus that one more from the fourth, 333 fourths. And the next one is 41 groups of 8, which is 320 plus 8, 328, plus the 5 more from 5/8. So that would be 328 plus 5, 333 again, this time 333 eighths. When we divide fractions, we multiply by the reciprocal. And then we're going to look for ways to cross simplify. In this case, I can go like this and pull out a 2. And then you can see that the 333 and 333 we can also cancel out, and we now have 2 over 1, which equals 2 whole pieces that we can make to cut for the cabinets. Problem 3 is basically an identical problem. It just has different numbers. So this time the length of our board is 100 1/2 inches long, and we're trying to cut pieces of wood that are 25 1/8 inches long, and we're trying to figure out how many pieces will this carpenter be able to cut to build cabinets. Before you even begin, I strongly recommend that you estimate. So 100 and a half, I'm going to round to 100, and 25 and 1/8, I'm going to round to 25. When I do that, I get 4 pieces of wood that I'm able to cut from that big long length of board. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the actual division. First thing I'm going to do is change them to improper fractions. So I have 201 over 2, and then also 201 over 8. I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal of 201 over 8. And then I'm going to cross simplify wherever possible. I can pull out a 2 from here, and I can pull out a 201 from here. So I get 4 over 1, which equals 4 pieces the carpenter is going to be able to cut for the cabinets.